Hey everybody, Anthony 4x4 Diesel. We're back from the 5-week trip, over 12,000 kilometers on this vehicle. And in a few videos, we're going to go over the things that let us down, the problems we had, so that you can recognize those and maybe avoid them yourself. This compressor, 10 years old, stopped working, so out it comes for repair. Well, repair or replacement, depending on what we find. First thing we want to do is get this air filter off, and we can look in there, and that'll tell us a bit of a story. The rest of the vehicle, probably due to the fact of the maintenance, was super reliable. The only other issue we had was a Oricom microphone. It's been in there for a number of years, not 10 years, but getting close. You can see that's where it was rubbing on the low range gear shifter. After a while, I put a hat over it to stop the rubbing. No big deal, but it was starting to look untidy. The next thing that happened is this broke through. That was a bit longer. John F did me a favor on the trip, and thanks John. He reconnected that, cut it short or whatever, but then this deteriorated anyway. Obviously the outer rubber gets old, UV, sun and all that sort of thing deteriorates. Luckily I had a brand new spare one, because I know these things are going to happen. All this aftermarket stuff, it all fails eventually, to be quite honest. On this trip we're lucky not to break any antennas, but a quick mic replacement, and of course it still worked anyway, but we're back in business and it's looking better than that one. But this compressor, I think it's going to take some parts. We could get lucky. One of the ARB guys told me there's a clip or something in here that sometimes comes off, and it might be as simple as that. So let's see if this video is the one where we get in there and have a look. It could be the next video. So we're back on deck. First maintenance is our vehicles, and we've got obviously a bit of catch up around. You know, when you've been away on holidays 5 weeks, there's a lot of catching up to do in our personal life, with our own maintenance and things around the place as well, of course, you can imagine. Just thought I'd show you where the compressor mounts. Quite difficult to get to the 4 bolts in that position where it is, and all that sort of thing. All the wiring's good, no issues there. So it will be a mechanical fault. But the rest of the vehicle, the Optima battery's awesome. The dual force went really well. The dual force, this is a 75 AH for anyone asking. In the other vehicle, the other one is a 90 AH, and it was staying up at 12.8 volts. It's 12.7 something volts overnight, with an angle running all night, which is amazing. Really good batteries as well. Like the Optimas, in my opinion, value for money. They work well, they do the job. It is a sacrificial battery, so it doesn't matter if it runs down a little bit flat. We've given this a bit of a cleanup, but of course some inspection work's gonna happen next. There's a bit more cleaning to do underneath, although I'd imagine it'd be pretty good down there, before we get it up on the horse, have an inspection and see if there's anything at it's over 400, about 445,000 Ks now, this vehicle, so it's up there, and we need to be all over the maintenance, and that's the whole point. I want to show you, this is a genuine YouTube channel. I'm genuine, I'm only going to tell you the truth. Nobody has or ever will pay me to say something about a product. If somebody wants to send a product, I'll test it, I'll use it, I'll show you what happens in the videos. You can decide if you like it or not. I'll give my opinion if I like it or not. Doesn't matter what product it is. If it's no good, you won't really see it much anymore. The information will go back to the supplier that it needs to do this, it needs to do that, it doesn't do this, this is broken. We're going to tell you the truth. They're not going to be paying me to not tell you about a bad product, and they're not going to be telling, I might be a dentist, but you know, this is the problem with all these big YouTube channels. Really, you've got to kind of throw them in the bin, to be honest. Once they're big, they get sponsored. It says on there, they've even got it on there, sponsored, this is sponsored, this is sponsored. They're getting paid money to tell you something about a product. And you know what money does? It manipulates the truth. I promise I'm always just going to be honest to the best of my absolute ability. I might make a mistake, but if I do, and I know I have, later I'll correct it. That's why it's important not to miss any of the videos. I want to show you that you can have a vehicle that you can pick up for about 15 grand. You might have catch-up maintenance of about 10 grand for about $25,000. $30,000, you can have an awesome vehicle, whether it's one that you've picked up with the maintenance already been done for 25 or 30, that can get you out there, that can be reliable, see the country, and just make it a pleasurable trip if you don't have any problems by doing the maintenance. So follow the videos. Let's go and have a look at this compressor, right? I'll tell you straight, if there's a product in my vehicle, it's usually because I like it. Now, companies can give me products if they like for testing, and I'll tell you the truth. Now this one here, this compressor, was a prize, okay? So every now and then I'll organize some trips, some events, some gatherings, and we organize, sponsorship is there from the sponsors for the trip. Nothing to do with me or my YouTube channel. It's just, hey, we've got a group gathering, prizes, you know, people will love it, that sort of thing. And of course, we'll tell people about the prizes. So whatever. As far as that goes, I mean, that's nothing to do with me saying whether the product's any good or not, but it is freebies from the sponsors, and we appreciate that from the sponsors. But I won a compressor. That's what went in the vehicle about 10 years ago. This is it. Long story short, I won a twin, okay? It was too big and heavy, didn't want it in the vehicle. So I sold that, got good money for it, and I purchased this one. So I did actually purchase it, but with the money that I got from the twin. So I'll call this one the prize. And then I paid for the front locker and got that installed at an AOB shop because they said 5-year warranty. And I don't work on vehicles when I'm on holidays. I supervise and advise. I'll tell you what to do. I'll get in there and do it if I have to. That's why I really like it. If people have come on trips with me, have got the vehicles I like, they do the maintenance I like, they follow my videos, and they won't have any problems. People that don't watch all the videos, you know, people that are a bit sloppy because they're a bit, you know, didn't kind of miss that bit, not that much experience, they're the ones that are going to have problems. You need to watch all the videos. It's not that hard. 1 video a day, 2 YouTube channels, sometimes 2 videos a day if there's a lot coming out. Some people are going, stop talking and just pull the compressor apart. Well, I'm not in a hurry. I'm explaining things, right? So I also won this light, AOB light, 10 years ago. And I'm going to tell you, I'm impressed. They're nice and bright. I like them. They don't last long on full power. It's only going to last a couple of hours on half power, maybe 3 or 4. The battery and the light still works well after 10 years. I've got a couple of these. Charging takes longer than they last, so to charge it up again takes a few hours. So make sure you've got a couple, or just use them a little bit when you need a nice bright light. It's got magnets on the back. You can hang it up under the bonnet. Works really well. See, that's how it works. They didn't pay me to tell you that. It was a prize. I'm just telling you I like it. Never had a plan to get one. Just happened to win. Bang, got one, and I like it. This one here, the compressors, I've seen them in under bonnets of four-wheel drives in our workshop for over 10 years, probably closer to 20 years, very popular, and rarely do I ever hear of any issues with them, so I thought they're very reliable. There's talk about Australian made. I've done the ARB tour where they push the fact that everything's Australian made, you know. There could be a whole lot of components here that aren't made in Australia, it's just put together here. I'm not sure what the truth of the real detail is. You know how it works, and if you don't, it's time to think about it. Yes, this is my little cap you just get from Bunnings. It's, you know, you put on the bottom of a stool, you know, so you get that in the caps department, pack of 4, keep a spare and give 2 to your best mates, and they can cap that up. You can see it's the old one, they've changed now. Anyway, keeps that clean. So look, it went in, the compressor in the 150 Prado. What happened with that one? I think that was another prize as well at the next gathering. Same thing, you know, worked out really well for me, didn't it? I organised thousands of dollars, probably over 10 grand worth of prizes, at least a couple grand from ARB. They don't want to play anymore. On the last gathering, I asked ARB and couldn't really get a hold of anyone. No one got back to me. You know, you guys are nobodies. We're not really interested in you. And they did try and give me bull bars and suspension at one point as well. So they were keen at one stage. Maybe they didn't like it, the fact that I said, no, look, appreciate you giving me a suspension, but I like Dobinson's better. I sell a number of kits a week for years, and all around Australia, people have got the gear in there. And pretty much, as far as I can remember, no warranty claims on the monotubes at all whatsoever. So who's going to change and go away for that, right? Especially when it's better value for money. Again, Dobinson's can give me suspension. I've got that in there because I had it in there from when I paid for it. That's what I've used. That's what I like. And you know what? All I'll do is tell you the truth about it, right? They can't pay me to tell you anything. If something bad happens, I'll tell you, look, we had a leak, we had a this, we had a that, right? That's what it's all about. I'm trying to just get that point across that it's all genuine. I promise that's not going to change. So all the companies can give me whatever they want. I'm going to test it. I'll review it. I'll tell you the truth. If I don't like it, I'll tell them. I won't talk about it much here. And if something happens like this, I'll just tell you about it. Just like there's a xxXKlm fridge that's broken, okay? So you wouldn't have heard that unless you watched the video, right? Now, is it a one-off? Does it happen all the time? What's broken? We don't know yet. Are they going to be a reliable fridge in the outback? We don't know. We know the Engel is, so I'll stick with those at the moment. But what's everybody else going to do once they know there's a xxXKlm broken? Are they going to stick with brands they know are reliable, or stick with brands that they've been told are reliable? You know, marketing, fluff and goo, just be careful what you believe. All right, this might not be the full video, but if I can do this one-handed, you know, let me just hold this for a minute, like that. I don't have to do good videos, not my job, okay? Anything I do is a bonus. Oh yeah, there you go, see? You can see straight away that's something's fallen out of position in there, right? Right, Okay, so this could be an easy fix. I'm going to start pulling things apart and have a look. I don't know what I'm doing with these things. I've never pulled one apart before, but you know what? Let's just have a crack and see. The ARB guy did say something about a clip on the end here, and you can quite clearly see that something's moved out of position. And I'm hoping that's might be just take these two 10 mils off and that end plate and see what's going on in there and get something back in position. So I'll get it set up in a tripod so we can see what's going on if I've got time to do that today. Yeah, so subscribe to the balance so you don't miss that. Hope you like the videos. Hope you like the fact that it's genuine. Stick with me. And those other channels, the bigger they are, just know that in most cases, not all of them, you'll be able to figure out who the genuine people are and who those that are heavily sponsored or getting paid to. I see people's videos and I see even some really nice people. I go, mate, he's a nice bloke, awesome bloke. But you can just see someone's throwing money at them to say things they're saying. Oh, the best this, oh, the best that, right? You know, I promise I'll just tell you how it is 100% legit. All right, catch you on the next video. See ya.